Hey everybody, and welcome back. So this is the February ScrawlrBox. Yay. I got this in the very last day of February, which I was like the most excited about. It takes forever for these ScrawlrBoxes to come into the States, and luckily I'm on the East Coast, so yay for that. Anywho, get in. We got 2 stickers this month actually. The Scrawlr sticker is kind of watercolory, which matches the theme for the box this year. And then a sticker from the featured artist. And then we have our cute little index with all our little goodies on it. And then first up is the Caran Fibralo Fibre pens. And they're just fiber pens, but they're water-based, so you can have fun with them like watercolors. And then we have a cute Spectrum Noir Aquatint. It's an ink brush, water-based, all that good stuff. Just full of watercolor. And then next we have a set of Karin Brushmarker Pros, and these are really intense colors. And we got about 4 of the brush markers and then 2 of the fiber pens. The fiber pens are just blue, like a really deep blue and a yellow. And then the Karin brush, I got a purple, a green, a yellow, and a blender. And you can just see already they have liquid ink in them, and it is a bright. It is definitely daunting to see just from the get-go, like super saturated ink brushes. But they're water-based, I think, or something. Either way, got a lot of watercolor themed beauties in here. It just says intense dye-based on the description. And then we have Karin Edelweiss pencil, just your basic HB, and then an Artline drawing system pen. Really fine tip, water resistant, which is really good, perfect for all the goodies we're working with this month. And we got a cute little citrus taffy kind of thing going on. And then for first time, really, for me, I haven't been doing this for long, we actually have an eraser, this high polymer eraser, Helix pencil cap eraser. It's supposed to have a smooth side and a rough side. I didn't really notice anything, but it's latex free, which is pretty good. And then we have the featured artist, which is Tsarina, Rina, ? I'll have her stuff in the description below. And then we have 2 sheets of Botanical Ultra Smooth 300 GSM, about 4 inches, about 7 inches, with like a quarter, with like an 1/8 of an inch shy. And then, so we got a lot of goodies this month, a lot of watercolors, so it'll be interesting. I definitely can't wait to start playing with these, so let's get on it. I test them all out just to see how much they pick up of each other, how resistant is the ink pen, and just how much I definitely need to make sure I erase the pencil. Since a lot of these are all water-based, they pick up each other pretty quick. Luckily the ink is no problem there, and then the blender actually works on all of these pretty good. Even the ink, it picks up a little bit, but not that much. I kind of do a gradient effect, taking off from like the main source and then taking off from there, making sure to clean it. It doesn't do so bad holding on to the ink, which is pretty good, because usually you have to worry about cleaning the nib and it holding on to it, but it was pretty quick and simple cleaning it up. And they're, brush pens, so they're pretty fine, pretty thick, just like you need or want. And then you just have to be careful with the blender, because like I was trying to pick up the ink and it kind of rubbed up a bit. But anyways, then I started sketching and trying to think, because the challenge this month is plumage, which means a collection of feathers. That's why the feature artist is a bunch of feathers. But anyways, so I started thinking, started listening to music. Music helps me concentrate, for me at least, or inspires me. And I was listening to Rexa's Last Hurrah, and she's wearing a rose crown and with like thorns, and then she has wings in the music video. So that kind of inspired me thinking about angels and angel statues. So I started looking at angel statues and kind of rolled with that. I did a sketch and then I uploaded it to my Procreate so then I could do a finer line art and then play with the colors because they're really intense and my sketchbook doesn't really handle that much ink very well. It's pretty basic. And then I couldn't get this video to rotate, just a side note. And it was, they're all so intense, so it was kind of interesting to figure out how to get it to work, but the colors complemented each other pretty well, which isn't too bad. So that was really nice. And then once I finished playing with the colors and in Procreate, then I sketched it onto the piece of paper before inking. And just because with Procreate, you know, the lines are a lot thicker, and instead of trying to figure out how to get them thinner, I just do it in pencil first, so for a thinner sketch to work with to ink. And I love that they had already like sharpened the pencil before they like give you, because anytime they have pencils in these boxes, they're usually already sharpened and started up for you, which is really nice. And I went ahead and put the eraser on the pencil, and it's cute and adorable. It's been a while since I've had a little eraser topper like that on any of my stuff. But I tried to go for a flowy gown because I was looking at a lot of angel statues, you know, that you see around Europe especially. And I liked how it turned out, and I tried to think about light coming from the side and the wings blocking it. Kind of like how she's just kind of shielding herself from the world, and, you know, she's kind of somber and a little bit of tears going on. Then I inked it up, and I struggle with thin line art with thin pens to do the line art, but it wasn't too bad, and I just really got to practice that, so gotta enjoy that when you're able to also focus on something and also work on something at the same time. And I tried not to put too many thorns in her hair and try to focus on bringing out some of those petals in her roses. The line art went pretty quick, pretty simple since I already knew where I wanted everything and how I wanted it. And I made sure to let it dry because I know it said it was water resistant, but I just wanted to make sure with the materials that we were using in those box to make sure to give it like every chance it could to come out pretty darn well. And then I erased everything in it, and that took a good minute because small eraser, kind of size-ish work. Anyways, the eraser is supposed to have a smooth and a rough side, and the tips, they're like, be careful when you choose a side, but I didn't really notice the difference. But then again, I was trying to make sure that I was just gonna be erasing the pen and the paper, not having to worry about the ink or anything, because the graphite could get picked up by the water-based inks. So I made sure to erase everything, you know, dust off all this good stuff. And then they suggested that you dip the pens in water to help dilute them, but I didn't really like it. It did lighten it up a bit, but I was like, nah, you know what? I was already set on just using the colors as intense as they are. And so I started off with the Aquatint, I think, Aquatint brush pen, and it was actually a lot deeper blue than I anticipated. When I sketched it out, I think it was just still kind of getting used to being in there. And it wasn't that much ink on the brush. But the only thing that really was a problem, because I didn't have much transfer going on when I did the blue first, because I wanted to make sure that had enough time to dry before I do the purple shading on top. And then I started with these guys, and the only problem is that even though as soon as I saw that it was transferring onto one another, I immediately started going, oh no, and immediately you got the blender, picked it up, and was like, okay, I'm gonna need to let that dry. But then I was like, that Fibre pen when I did the roses was really dark, and I wanted, work really hard on the petals, so I used the blender, and it actually picked up a good amount of it. But then even after letting it dry, it still was transferring, and I was like, I let you dry for like 2 hours and you don't feel that damp. But I guess there's just so much ink, and I wanted to be able to finish it by the end of the day. So I was like trying to think of ideas to fix this, because luckily the blender is really good in picking up. So I was like, okay, I'll get as close as possible to the edge, but not touching the edge. And then just like come back after it's dried some more or something. But I didn't want to wait like a whole day. I was like, I want to be able to finish this piece today, like, and there should be a way to use these pens that you can use multiple pens on a canvas and get her done in a day. And not have to worry so much about everything. So I did everything that I could that wasn't touching any of the other stuff, got it as close as to the edge as possible. Try to save myself there, here and there, and it was a struggle, the most struggle, trying to get these pens to work together and not having to spend days on one piece, because I was like, come on. I don't know if I'll ever, like, I dabbed it dry, let it dry again for a while, and then I was even like dabbing it dry as I was putting it down, because I was like, just too much ink and I don't need it to attack. So I started dabbing the marker tip first and then using it while the nib was still kind of dry, so that I could get the color on there and get close to the edge, but there's not so much ink that it's starting to merge into one another. And I just was stubborn to finish this in one day, one go. Overall, I did like the variety of stuff and the theme. The only problem is that these pens don't dry very quickly. The only thing was with the Brushmarker Pro was pretty much it. Other than that, fun box, fun challenges as always, and hope to see you guys soon. Bye!